So it's been a while. I need a shave, but I finally moved into my new place. Now all set up, everything's in the house. We're actually working on the master bedroom at the moment, so most of the stuff has been dumped in here. There's a lot of railway stuff, as you see, a big pile of clothes as well. Only thing I managed to do so far is mount the Wardle Road sign. But I'm going to show you a bit of what's going on in here and hopefully some future plans. At the end of the video as well, I'll also show you an update on the 5-inch gauge stuff, because I know some of you guys have been asking me about that. But yeah, don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you do enjoy the video, and don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date with what's happening in the railway room. So I'll see you all in a second. So, as I've mentioned, this is the railway room. All I've done so far is got the whiteboard up, got my Wardle Road sign over there up, and the rest of the railway stuff, as you can see, is just dumped in this corner here. Lots of Bachmann Scenecraft buildings I got for my birthday from Tian, so that's sort of done what the Amazon Echo is doing in there. But so yeah, this is kind of how it's going to go. This is I've got these pieces of wood here that I'm going to use as baseboards, and what I'm doing is I'm putting a beam round to the outside of the room and then screwing these down to here. They will also all have strengthening edges along the edge and down the middle. This post is just here temporary, just to hold this up while I work out what I'm doing, but these will also have adjustable legs at the bottom, so I can get the height exactly right. And if I get the laser level up and push down, yeah, we're getting there. The room is roughly 12 foot by 7.5 foot, 7.5, 8 foot. So there's a huge amount of space. What is going to happen is this area here, which I'm working on, this here is going to be my sort of computer area and desk area. So then I'll have this whole thing as a backdrop behind me. The layout is going to run along here, so it's going to go around here into a scenic section. It's then going to come out here into like, well, I won't give away too much, but it's going to be kind of like a valley along here. And then it's going to come around here to some kind of maybe like coal works or a village or something, then come around here, and along here is going to be a really big country station that kind of slightly curves round here, and then it's going to go across a bridge and back underneath. So it's going to run underneath my work area and then back round here. And inside the work area as well, I will have a turn off to use as a programming track, so I can just send locos in and out of here. Yeah, so this is where the streaming setup will be as well. I know it doesn't look like much on video, but I will have cameras dotted around the layout in various hidden places as well, just so when we're streaming, we can get a good view of what's going on. You might be able to pick up some clues as to the type of layout I'm going for, but I'm not going to give away too much. I've also got some posters and things to hang up on the wall that I've got. I've also got this brilliant photo that's been printed out for me, well, taken and printed out for me by Tim from Island Scenics. So that's going to find a nice home, probably along the backdrop somewhere here for the back of the streams. But what I'm hoping to do, as I work my way around the baseboards, I'm going to start using this stuff and chucking it like away under here, just so I can start making space to work my way around. All my workbench stuff and my sort of hobbycraft stuff are down there. And obviously that'll all be sitting on this workbench here. And I also got this really useful trolley as well from IKEA, which I'm going to just use as a general sort of around the room. All of the stuff down here, some AGR, don't forget to check them out as well. But yeah, this trolley I'll just be using as like a sort of tool trolley, because you know when you're like working on a layout and then you end up having tools piled all over the track, I wanted like a central point that I could keep all the tools and stuff and just wheel it about. So that was about 15-20 quid in IKEA, so I'm really pleased with that. But yeah, let's make some more progress and I'll come back to you in a second. Right, so you have to ignore that humming in the background. That's just the small heater fan I've got in here. But I've made a lot of progress actually since yesterday. So I'm just going to show you what I've done. So if you remember before, just before I show you, there was a beam on the right hand wall. That's all I had in place. Well, now if I bring you in, we've got some baseboards, as you can see, and the workstation and streaming setup starting to take place as well. I've also managed to get some photos up on the wall little Stoke City thing there, a whiteboard, this little display stand that I'm going to use to display like figures and cars. Got to get these up on the wall still, but yeah, this is the progress I've done so far. The lighting, I'm going to go out to Wix today and get in. That's the only light we've got in here at the moment, aside this ring light, which was about £15–20 on Amazon. It's absolutely brilliant for shining some light on down here. But as you can see, I've kind of just, obviously there's not really anything in place at the moment, but just working out how big a curves I can get on this section here. And obviously I need to elevate the workbench here high enough so that trains can run underneath that work area. So they'll come round here underneath the work area where I can see them, and then there'll be a little fiddle, like a servicing yard here for the programming track, and then it'll run back out here and then along there and back round. This area here is going to be a sort of, I won't give away too much, but it's going to be a scenic section here, which means I'm going to have to put a slightly lower board in there first. Still organising all the boxes. I've got a lot of scenery boxes I need to go through. I've got the DR5000, which was recommended to me by Eric, and I picked it up from AGR. Well, when you're watching this, I hopefully would have already done a live stream. I'm just waiting to sort out the internet in here as well. But yeah, there's a million and one things to do at the moment, and when I'm finding some time, I'm just coming in here, putting a couple screws in, or putting something up, or plugging something in, just slowly making progress. But yeah, the next thing to do will be to get this workbench area raised enough so I can get a track bed, the underlay, and this, well, this is just a Hornby box van, but that's one of my tallest wagons, I think, so as long as they can fit underneath there and run the whole way around. I also added this as well. I thought, because keyboards get in the way, especially when you're streaming, keyboards can get in the way and you're trying to do stuff, so I bought this tray that fitted underneath the workbench, and that just slides the keyboard out. So that was only a few quid on Amazon, same day delivery as well, so I'm really pleased with that. That's just a little fan I've got down there, and I've also so far fixed the extension lead underneath there, and that's going to power all of this stuff over here, including the stream deck. And I'm going to have a camera set up here, which is going to face down over the workbench, one on here which is going to look at me, and then a couple dotted around the layout. So I'm going to get on with this, stop boring you guys to death. Hopefully I'll head out to AGR model shop as well, model store, sorry, not model shop, and pick up some track underlay, so I can get at least, it'd be nice if I could lay the track that runs, the two straight bits that run underneath here, so now I can put everything here in place. And I'll just put some wires below and just leave them there till it comes to wiring it up. So yeah, I'm going to get on with that, and I'll join you back in a minute.
A few moments later.
Right, so another update. I struggled to remember where we were before, but as you can see, I have now elevated the work area to allow me to have my programming track come in here, and then the two other tracks will run behind that and then come out the other side and then work their way around. So that was one of the things I said I was going to do. The reason that you can see my shadow is because I've just replaced the lights to these studio lights, so got much better lighting in here. I've also got the picture up from Tim at Island Scenics. That's all mounted on the wall, looking nice. I also picked up the new Bachmann coal bunker as well, so that's ready to go on the layout once I've got somewhere to put it. And I also picked up, again from AGR Model Store, the DCC Concepts track bed. So what I'm going to do next, oh, and the Woodland Scenics rock mould as well, so I'm going to make some rocks up probably on my live stream. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get some of this track bed, a bit of copy decks, and I'm just going to get the programming track stuck, the base of it stuck down and wired in here. I'm also going to get, so basically what's happening here is you've got the two curves coming in, so you've got two running through here, then I've just got a set track curved piece here, so obviously this one's going to branch off to the programming track and the other one's going to carry on going around the back. So the scenic side section doesn't start to about here, somewhere here. So I forgot to film an update just before I finished off last night. However, as you can see, actually I'll tell you what, I can't really remember what I had in the last one, but the workbench here is now elevated. So trains can run. This train actually does work, but my controller is obviously my phone for the DR5000. So I might put some shots of that in later on. The computer and streaming software is all now set up, so that's ready to go for Wardle Wednesdays. So if you're watching this, I think I'd have already done the first one, so if you did join me, then let me know what you thought of it. I've still got a long row of Bachmann Scenecraft buildings and stuff here. Track-wise, from AGR, I got this set track right-hand curve point. This is just to split the track up to the fiddle yard in here to the programming track, and then this is going to be one of the tracks going around the back, and then there'll be another one running through here, and then they'll both go through that tunnel and continue the loop. I'm using set track pieces just for the curves around here, just find it easier, but then I've got a couple of boxes of flexi track that's going to do the run down there. Also on the stream, it might or might not have attempted to do these rock molds, which again, AGI's got a couple left, I believe, as well. I'm going to carry on. What I'm planning to do next is to wire in this track for here, and then probably get some foam done under this curve here, and then attempt to do the track that runs underneath the length. All of this lifts up as well, so I'm not too worried about access, so I can just lift it all off, put the track down and put this all back. And having this higher up as well, I found allows me to open and close this without it sliding all over. When it was down here, if I had something in the way, this would push it all out the way, but now there's a lovely bit of clearance here. And I'm really, really pleased with that, actually. So this is with this piece wired in here, and if I turn this on, you can now see I've got lights on the buffers there. This train does work, as I mentioned before, but there's nowhere for it to go at the moment. So, as I said, I'm going to try and get a bit more foam underlay done and a little bit more track put down. I'm also using these connector blocks. I think Charlie from Chadwick mentioned them in a recent video, the slightly larger ones. But I found these small ones perfect, so I put a couple over there and a couple over there, and it's just making doing the wiring 100 times easier, just having them all going to a couple of central places. So I'll have them scattered all over. Right, so it's the end of the day. As you can see, DR5000 and the DR4018's all up and running. Now, I did have this point motor, this surface mounted, because I wanted any unnecessary, like anything around the non-scenic section to just have surface mounted points to save time, but I ended up having to use a 16 volt power supply for that anyway, so but that all works. I've got this Burko signal as well here. It doesn't work with this until I've got a way of switching the, I think it's either the positive to the negative or the negative to the positive for the common, but that's just going to sit in here just to mark when the train that's sat in the siding here can leave. I'm just about to put that shelf up for the 33 to sit on. Looks similar to the one there, but obviously different livery. And I've just got this baseboard in, and I just need to put the strengtheners along the edge, like that one. And these ones, I've given it a quick hoover as well. I've also put a few more of the connector blocks in, a lot of wires up under here, like this. All this lot still needs tidying. But other than that, I think that's all we've got time for today. Right, so I do think this is going to be the final part of the double O gauge section before I pass you back to Ollie. Before the lockdown, I'm just going to quickly go over with you some of the stuff I've been doing on the 5-inch gauge class 25. But I just thought I'd give you one more update on the double O. As you can see, the streaming setup is coming together quite nicely. I've also been sorting out the orientation of these lights as well to make sure they're sort of optimized for when I'm streaming. As you can see, I've just taken off the workstation, which is currently down there in its various modules, as I'm going to work on the pieces of track that run behind here. I've actually just removed this piece of wood that was originally sat here because I'm going to make these two both run through to the other track. So I think that's everything on this side. Down here, I'm currently finishing off the edging for this piece of wood, and I'm about to put that shelf up. We've also got this paving tape as well. I've seen this used a couple of times. Looks like a good way of you doing the roads and stuff, because obviously I've got my remote control post van on the way, so I'd like to get the roads done as soon as possible. So yeah, I'll pass you back to Ollie from the past before lockdown. I hope you did enjoy this 00 gauge update, and don't forget, if you are subscribed, don't forget to come and tune in on the streams. They'll either be a Wednesday or a Friday, and I will see you all in a bit. Thank you for watching. See you in a second. So as you can see, if you follow me on my Facebook or Instagram, you'll see that I've done all 850 rivets. They're now all drilled out and put in. Some of them that were loose, they had to be stuck with some Gorilla Glue. But yeah, that's that all done. All the windows are cut out. As you can see, some of them are tidier than the others. These still need a bit of material removing and tidying up and filing down. The axle box detailing is all on now. You see at the front here, I've actually had to trim a bit off the front because it was hitting as it went round corners, some design flaw there. But other than that, it's really starting to take shape. What I am going to do tomorrow is fit the fuel tanks that sit underneath here. That's just another bit of detail. It makes it look a little bit less like it's floating on the bogies. As I mentioned before, if you are following my Facebook, you'll have seen that I fitted the fan, and this is just a metal mesh that I've spray painted black, and then underneath it's just a computer fan I've painted red and weathered. So as you can see, it looks quite nice. Over there you'll see the top of the chimney for the smoke. That is something I still need to sort out as to exactly how to make that neat without water going all over the place, because obviously with electrics the last thing you want is it covered in water. The differences between the two sides here is that I've started painting where the vents will go. So again, some more metal mesh painted black will then sit over the top of these rectangles either side, so I still need to paint that side. Down here I've started building my switchboard, so this side here will be fully accessible from the driver's side, so you've got the sound, which then starts, before I was interrupted, that's the sound, and when that turns on that also starts the fan as well. So if I hit that, then this one is the smoke, and then this one's going to be headlights, cab lights, and anything else that I want to add to it really. Just thought I'd add some extra switches there just to have as spares. If you look closely in there, you can also see where the sound is fitted. There is actually a speaker right underneath this fan. Don't know how well I can see it. You can see it from there, and then there's one at the other end as well. So lots to do, but yeah, it's progress. Right, so as you can see, I've got the 25 off the main truck now. I'm just going to take the lid off quickly and show you guys a few bits and pieces I've been working on the inside of it. So I will see you in a second.
We have to interrupt this episode of Wardle Road to bring you an important announcement. This channel is sponsored by 3DP Rolling Stock, the #1 place for all your 3D printed 5-inch and 3.5-inch gauge rolling stock needs. Whether it's buffers, coupling hooks or the whole wagon. Go to the top link in the description today. And don't forget, if you are a channel member, you also get exclusive offers. What more could you want? To join the channel, just hit the join button next to subscribe. Right, I'm off to build a wagon.
First thing you'll notice is the axles are now permanently on. As you can see, I had them glued originally and they didn't stay too well. So I did as Brent suggested, and I've drilled 2 holes here and then put some bolts through, which I just need to paint the caps of them black. Same here, the end needs to be painted black still, as I had to file it down a little bit to stop it. When it turns, there's not much of a gap there. So I just had to file this back a little bit. But that's done on all 4 of them now. As you can see here, the windows still need a fair bit of tidying up on this side. These front ones as well. These are this is the rear here with the switch panel, and these still need tidying up. Door still needs tidying up. I've done all the rivets on this side as well. Fan in the top there's a 12-volt fan, and I've got it connected at the moment. You can see the wires on the far right. There's double jumpered with this pair here. I see it moving, and it's quite simply on a line jack here, and that's what connects it from the base over there to here. So by doing that, the fan's now disconnected, which means I can remove the body. I've made a very temporary chimney out of a bit of bathroom plumbing, piping stuff, and then that's got like a metal ring on it. It actually fits perfectly, don't know if you can see there, inside this tube. So that sits there, and that comes out the top of the body, as you would have seen. As you might have seen in my live stream, I ended up blowing this fan, so I managed to get another one for a couple of quid. They're just the same fans that you use on 3D printing. If I bring you down this side, you can now see my bodge switchboard made out of a couple of bits of metal. A bit wobbly at the top, but it doesn't go anywhere down here. Speakers all mounted in, sounds in. So all I have to do is sort out the lights at that end, the cab lights at each end, and the tail lights as well at that end. There are two reds for when I'm reversing this. I'm not really going to bother, I don't think, with any lights at this end, because I'll always have the driver's truck this side. I'll have the full cab interior and everything at that end. But sadly, as you guys probably know, I mentioned before, we've got lockdown. Lockdown actually officially starts tomorrow. This is the last chance to get out for at least a month. We're probably looking into the new year again now before I'm able to get the loco out running again. So it was nice to get a little running session in today. But yeah, I can still work on this at home, but unfortunately no running for a few weeks at least. Might give me a chance to get on with some more of the electrics, like the lighting and other bits. So hopefully we'll be back in the new year with the 5-inch gauge stuff, but there will be some 00 gauge stuff to keep you guys busy. As you know, I mentioned before 1,000 times, moving house at the end of the month, so during my time off over Christmas I'm going to get started on the 00.